Hello everyone, Dimitri Mello here, the Soccer Excellence Mentor, and today we're going to be discussing attack versus defense. Should we train them separately? So guys, if you're not familiar with the way I do things here, first I read my post about the topic we're going to discuss, and then I start the discussion here on the YouTube video, okay? I'm going to leave the post here on the screen. I'm going to leave my links to my social medias here on the screen also, so you can access my other social media and have access to all my contents, okay? So attack versus defense. Since tactical periodization started spreading throughout the soccer world, I've seen many coaches training offensive organization in a session and defensive organization in another session. Same with transitions. Quick thought. When you're attacking, who are you attacking? Defenders, right? When you're defending, who are you defending against? Attackers, right? So how come you want to train attackers and defenders separately? How do you conceive offensive organization without defensive organization? If you're training your attackers, you have to train them against the best structured defense possible. How does it make sense to only train attackers without intervening to improve the defender's execution of the concepts? You'll be training attackers to beat only flawed defenders. Same thought applies to training only defenders. Instead, what you want is training them together. Intervene in both of them. How? One at a time. Which one first? The one struggling the most. Why? Because the team winning the exercise is already motivated. The team that is struggling needs your help to get back on track and regain advantage on the exercise. I have a whole theory about it. It's about regulating performance and motivation altogether. It's a very strong tool to guarantee 100% intensity in your exercises and make sure your players follow your ideas and buy your philosophy. So guys, attacking and defense and defending at the same time or separately. As I just showed you here, I cannot conceive one without the others simply because it doesn't make sense to me that I will be training my attackers to beat defenders that are not being corrected, that are not being perfected, and that are not offering the most difficult obstacle to my attackers. Because if I'm training attackers in a situation where my defenders are not improving, my attackers are also not improving. They are only being able to beat those defenders who are not improving. And this generates a limit to my attackers because they will only be able to beat those defenders they've come one step above them, and now they cannot go any further because defenders are not reaching a higher level than them, so they now have a higher level to beat, so now they have a higher level to beat, and so on. You're not generating a scale where one can benefit from the performance of the other. You're just training one. And this doesn't make any sense because, again, there's no constant threats or obstacle to be beaten. It's just the same difficulty. It's like playing a video game in the easy difficulty all the time and thinking you're going to improve. You're not going to improve. You're going to stay stuck in the same easy level you're playing, okay? So I've seen many coaches asking or developing sessions for attacking organization or defensive organization. Those things do not exist for me. You cannot train the way you analyze the game. These coaches, for me, are being misled by the fact that you can analyze your opponent through their attacking organization, but you cannot train your team only on their attacking organization, because when you train your team, you're training your team to get better. But when you're analyzing the opponent, you're just extracting information from your opponent. You're not making them better. So when you're analyzing the game, it makes sense that you separate attacking organization from defending or defensive organization. Makes total sense because you want to know how they attack and how they defend. But when you train, you want to train your team to get better always, to be the best. So to be the best, defense and attack have always to be growing one over the other. So they have to beat the most difficult obstacle possible. Okay? So my advice to you, my recommendation to you is that you design global plus systemic exercises or global or systemic exercises where you can train attackers and defenders, and you correct both at the same time. And you're going to see, as I saw in my teams, that when you correct both at the same time, one at a time, at the same time I mean at the same exercises, but one at a time, always the one struggling the most. So you start the exercise, you see that your defenders are doing the best job, so attackers are not being able to execute their task, okay? So defenders are here, attackers are here. Okay, so now you want to intervene in your attackers because you want to help attackers regain advantage in the exercise and beat defenders. Okay, so you intervene in attackers. You explain to them, oh, yeah, we need more width, we need to change our body orientation, we need to attract the opponents. Whatever you see is failing. Okay, then you correct attackers, and now you see with the exercise going on if attackers have gained advantage, because now they are able to score and defenders are not being able to defend against those attackers. Now it makes no sense to keep correcting attackers because they are already with advantage. Now we need to impose a new obstacle so they can adapt again and improve again. So now we need to correct defenders. So now you teach defenders how to counter whatever you have taught attackers. And then when you've proven to yourself and to your players with the experience and with the exercise going on that defenders have again regained advantage, now is time again to intervene in attackers. Okay, so that's why it doesn't make sense to do only a session for attacking organization or defensive organization, because otherwise you're going to be limited by the level of the other team. So if you're training attackers only, you're going to be limited by the level of execution of defenders, and the other way around, the same thing. So guys, if you like this video, thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to my channel, check my other videos. I've got videos about numerical superiority, third man. I've got an entire series where I analyze Guardiola's Barcelona. I have a series called Soccer Coaching Express. It's made of 14 episodes where I teach you the basics of being a coach, of coaching a team. So make sure you check that out. Very important information there. So again, guys, make sure you check all my content, subscribe to my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and let's all drive our performance towards excellence.